atmosphere is a clear atmosphere, so that is great for astronomy. Other reasons, there's very little light pollution on the Big Island. There's even county ordinance to keep light pollution at a minimum. The street lights you see on the island, well, a lot of places there's no street lights at all. It's very dark at night. When you do see street lights, they're yellow, they're dim LED lights that are facing down, and it's to eliminate the light pollution for the observatories. In the neighborhoods, they have these amber lights also. And it's all for the observatories. You can control it here in the county of Hawaii because there's only about 189,000 people that live here on the Big Island, and they're spread across 4,000 square miles. You compare that with the island of Oahu. Oahu's only 400 square miles, and there's over 1 million people that live on Oahu. A little harder to control light pollution over there. So little light pollution, little air pollution. Similar reasons. There's not a lot of people here, so not a lot of factories as well. So, and the air pollution that is made from the emissions of the volcano is usually trapped beneath the inversion layer, the cloud layer, keeping the summit atmosphere clean, very clean. So little air pollution, little light pollution, little moisture pollution. The wind, we can get very windy up here, but the wind is a laminar flow. The wind, as the trade winds blow across the ocean, they kind of smooth, laminar, smooth winds that aren't creating a buffeting gust that could chop up the atmosphere. So the wind doesn't diminish the astronomy or the atmosphere for the astronomy, even though it does get very windy up here. Now take all of these reasons, these atmospheric conditions which are prime for astronomy, and add the fact that Mauna Kea is 19.5 degrees north latitude of the equator. What this means is from Hawaii, from Mauna Kea here, you can observe about 80% of the southern hemisphere sky because we're close enough to the equator. 80%. And we can see 100% of the northern hemisphere sky because Hawaii is still in the northern hemisphere. So most of the viewable sky is visible from this area in Hawaii that has awesome atmospheric clarity. And then also there's a road that goes up here so that parts can be trucked up to the summit to construct these observatories, and also to maintain these observatories. It's a lot easier than having to launch astronauts into space to fix telescopes like the Hubble, for example. You know, the best place to view space is from the vacuum of space itself, outside of the Earth's atmosphere. That is the best place to actually use a telescope, but it's not as feasible because it's very costly, and it could be very dangerous to maintain the observatories or these telescopes in space by having to launch astronauts to do spacewalks and such. So Earth-based telescopes are still very relevant, and bigger is better is the theme now, because the larger you can create a mirror, the more light you can capture and concentrate that light into the optics of the telescope, and see more objects than we have ever seen before. And now with the technology of adaptive optics, where lasers are shined up into the sky, they use these lasers, they create what they call an artificial star, or a guide star, if you will. And what it is, it's the laser lands on the sodium layer in the Earth's atmosphere. So almost all the way through the Earth's atmosphere,